Good afternoon, everyone. It's Saturday, December 19th, and we're still in 2020, but we're almost through it. And I'm driving through a winter wonderland. We had 9 inches of snow Wednesday night into Thursday morning. Most of it fell Wednesday evening and overnight. And as much of a pain as it was to clean that up, I was actually pretty happy about it because it was a nice light powdery snow that shovels easily, goes through the snowblower easily, and they had predicted that we were going to get 2 feet, so to only get 9 inches, can't complain. There was a concern about power outages from high winds, given that the storm was a nor'easter. However, the power stayed on. I was prepared this time. I got caught out almost three years ago. I had a 5-day outage, and I had zero preparation for it. Not a single flashlight with batteries, not a single bottle of water. This time, I probably could have gone 2 weeks without power. So, hey, I'd rather be prepared and not need it. But we got through it. It wasn't that bad of a storm. I mean, let's face it, it looks kind of pretty. This is actually my first chance to go out and actually look at it and enjoy the fact that it looks pretty because, you know, I'm still working. I'm working from home. Thankfully, I did not have to commute in any of this. But even so, the company I work for, they're kind of strict about stuff, so I don't have the flexibility to pick my own hours, even though I'm working from home. So by the time I log off, it's just about dark. So this is actually my first chance to really get out and about and enjoy it. It was a little sunnier this morning when I was having breakfast, like the sunny blue skies that you guys enjoy in my videos. The clouds are moving in now. It's supposed to get worse as the day goes on in terms of cloud cover. Again, actually kind of not the worst thing. It's probably not going to look as pretty, but you get a lot of glare off the snow when the sun's hitting it hard. So even though I always wear sunglasses, it could still be a little hard on the eyes. So all in all, you know, can't complain. It's 28 degrees. I know that sounds horrible, but it was predicted to be about 8 or 9 degrees cooler than that right now. And honestly, the fact that there's no wind and I'm bundled up, well, I'm in the truck now, the heat's on, obviously, it's comfortable, but it actually doesn't feel that cold outside. What I've come to learn over the years is really the wind has so much to do with it. You get even a little bit of breeze and it starts to go right through you, but if you don't have the breeze and you're dressed pretty warm, it's not bad. So besides being out to look at the snow, what am I doing today? Well, you can see where we're headed. We've been here 100 million times now. This is Lehigh Gap up ahead. I always find the mountain looks so much bolder and more striking when you have the snow on it. It just, you know, you get the contrast with the tree trunks and the evergreen trees, and it just, I don't know, it just seems to stand out more to me. It looks very pretty right now. Plus, you don't have the leaves on the nearby trees blocking the view. So I think you get to see more of it and you get to see it longer. So you're not going to see any new roads from me today. I mean, you know, the main roads are pretty clear. From what I understand, the secondary roads, they should be fine by now, too. They did a good job on the cleanup. I'm not worried about road conditions. It's just that we're heading to Jim Thorpe. And there's not many different ways to get there. So I'm not going to show you any new roads. But what I am hoping to do, Lehigh Gorge Scenic Railway is running this weekend. They're running, in fact, through the end of December. Not every day. You have to check their website for the schedule. But they're running their Santa Claus trains this year. That was something they skipped last year because they had shut down in November, you'll recall. They are back in business, as you've seen. Half my videos this year have probably been Lehigh Gorge Scenic Railway, but I never get tired of watching the trains run. I know a lot of you guys enjoy watching the trains run. You know, if you're someone who doesn't enjoy the trains, you know, I will have other stuff for you, but I've been a little limited in where I can travel to this year, but again, not complaining. I've really enjoyed my time up in Lehigh Gap, Lehigh Gorge, Jim Thorpe. If anything, this year has given me a chance to have a deeper appreciation of what's in my own backyard. I mean, I've lived up here actually almost 14 years now, and I've always known this stuff was here. In fact, I've known it was here before I moved here. But when you're kind of forced to stay local, I think it lets you take a closer look at it and realize, really appreciate just what you do have here. You can see the Lehigh River off to my left. You can see the house up on the red hill, which is now the white hill, in front of me. I believe that house has sold. I haven't seen a listing up for it for a while, so I've got to imagine some lucky buyer bought it and is hopefully enjoying it and restoring it, and I'm still looking at it longingly, wishing I could have it, but that's just not going to happen. So we're going to Jim Thorpe. I am not planning to ride the train today. I really wanted to. I was going to try to get better video. I thought it'd be cool to get video from the train with the snow in the gorge. I thought it'd be a really pretty ride, but I'm back to being really freaked out about the spread of COVID. Pennsylvania, like most places, they're having, record cases right now. It's very alarming. It seems like it's kind of leveled off a little bit this week. It's still alarmingly high. They're saying it was the Thanksgiving surge. And they've locked a lot of things down again. Indoor dining is closed again. No indoor fun events of any kind. Gyms are closed. Salons have stayed open this time. I forget the whole list of restrictions. I mean, to be honest, I've been getting to where I just stay home. So I don't, the world, I hate to say it, it's been closed to me for a long time. But personally, I don't care if they're spacing people in every other seat, if they're making people wear masks, if they're keeping the train windows open. I just don't feel safe right now with that mix of people. You know what they say, better safe than sorry. I mean, there's going to be a lot of other chances to go ride this train, I hope. And chances, hopefully, to ride other trains. It's interesting, that just kind of triggered a memory. I did a drive last winter, driving video. Maybe I broke it into several videos. I don't remember at this point. I forget if it was December, January, February. But I was talking about my plans for 2020. This was obviously pre-you-know-what. I was talking about all the trains I wanted to go see in Pennsylvania and maybe beyond. And other than Jim Thorpe and the little narrow gauge Loki in Ashland, I haven't really been able to do that. I'd love to tell you guys I'm planning to do all that for 2021. But I think at this point in 2021, the first couple months are still going to be rough with the restrictions. There's no doubt about that. The vaccines are rolling out. Depending what report you're listening to, it could be late spring, summer, late summer before the U.S. reaches that herd immunity with the vaccinations. I don't know which report to believe. It also assumes it all goes smoothly. We can all take our guesses on that. So basically, I don't want to plan anything. I don't want to say, yeah, I'm going to do this, and then it not be able to happen. But obviously, as things open up, and as case counts go down, and as the warm weather returns, I have no doubt I'm going to be out doing some things. I just don't want to lock anything in. I know the local group of YouTubers that I've gotten to know recently. They're talking about a spring meetup in, I think it's called Lakemont Park, which is in Altoona, Pennsylvania. What else is in Altoona, Pennsylvania? Come on, guys, you know it. It's trains. That's practically the train capital of the universe. That's where Horseshoe Curve is. There's a really good railroad museum there. It hasn't been open this entire year because of you know what. remains to be seen if it will be open next year. But I think chances are high I'm going to get out there next year. Maybe it'll be with the other YouTubers. Maybe it'll be on my own. I don't know yet. But again, not going to lock into anything. Interestingly, today I would have been heading out to Centralia again with that same group of YouTubers. One of them was going to give us a detailed tour. I don't know if any of you watch Adam Tereska's channel. He's got a great channel. He is the Centralia guy, apparently. I shouldn't say apparently. I just haven't been there with him, but everybody speaks highly of him. Adam, I know you've watched this channel. I appreciate your comments and your views, and it would have been nice to be out there today, but obviously with this weather, and they're not going to be plowing the roads in a deserted town, I'm sure, so it would not have been, it got rescheduled. I don't know the what date. I think it's still to be determined, but that's something else. Hopefully I can bring you guys in the near future. Hopefully we're going to go back to Centralia again. You know I did quite a few videos from our one outing there, but we have barely scratched the surface. It's funny, there's nothing there, but there's everything there. There's a lot to see. Hopefully we'll be going back out there with Adam and some other YouTubers soon, maybe this winter. I'm comfortable doing stuff like that because it's completely outdoors. I still feel plenty safe outside. I just don't like being in an enclosed space with other people. So you got that on the horizon, and you know, I do have some indoor winter projects. I've done my first 2 videos about that medieval village that I'm going to build. The start of the actual build has been a little bit delayed for 2 reasons. One, I had some tools. It turns out there's a lot of sanding of those little bricks that are needed. And I had some tools that were on back order for quite a few months. It's kind of crazy this year. There's some stuff you can get delivered almost right away, and then there's other stuff that, you know, months later you're scratching your head waiting. But those tools did arrive last week. So even though the first stage of the build, which will be putting together those little cardboard backing walls, that, you know, I could do that without those, we're going to get pretty quickly to the point that I'm going to need the sanding tools. And then we get back to the age-old, me sounding like a broken record. I've been busy. As I mentioned, I'm still working my day job. Who knows, you know, that's always a big question mark. I feel like I log on every day wondering if it's going to be the last. I'm not going to get into too much detail about it. There were some changes to my position yesterday, which I'm extremely unhappy about. It seems to be the story of the last 3 years there with the current management regime. And to be perfectly honest, you ever Google an article, how to know if your company's trying to make you quit? Yeah, that's pretty much my day-to-day work experience. I could pretty much check almost every point on those lists. So whether that's what's happening or not, you know, I don't know. I almost don't care. I've been planning for a different career for a long time anyway, and if this is the end, this is the end. I'm kind of over it. But we'll see what happens with that. But I do still have the job for now. It does still consume, you know, half of my waking hours, unfortunately. In better news, I did pick up a lot of side work in the last couple of months. It's funny, I still haven't even gotten to marketing the business. Haven't found time to put together a website and a marketing plan, but I have taken on some new work. Yeah, I had a feeling that guy was kind of going to swerve towards me there. Alright, we're heading into Lehigh now. We just crossed, I'm not being a very good tour guide today. I guess I just assume you guys have seen this so many times, you know where we're at. We just crossed the Lehigh River from, I guess that would be Weisport. This is Lehigh we're heading into. And then we wind through the mountains, and then we find ourselves in Jim Thorpe. It's really always neat traveling over there into that town. It's kind of like arriving through a portal back in time, because that town just screams 1800s, and I just absolutely love it. And you know what? I've never seen it. Come to think of it, I've never seen Jim Thorpe in person with the snow on the ground. In fact, I've never driven this stretch of the road looking at the mountains ahead with snow on them. So it's just so cool. It's a familiar place, but it just looks and feels so different. And gosh, I had to get out today. I mean, today is actually the first day in a long time I have no work. And I shouldn't actually say that. I have one very minor website thing to do for somebody. Shouldn't take more than an hour. And I do have a proposal to put together for another website for somebody. But that's going to take some back and forth with asking that client questions. So, you know, I'm more or less free to roam around today, which is great. I've been needing it. So anyway, I just sidetracked myself about 10 different ways. What point was I getting to? So, okay, yeah, the model village, because I've been busy with work, and I've been busy with side work, and I've been busy with storm cleanup, and, you know, just the usual day-to-day living stuff. I had hoped by now to put the first set of cardboard walls together, but I haven't. That might happen this weekend, though. We'll see. If I find free time after I do some editing, I think that's going to be the first thing on the list. Something else that's coming, and I might as well just tell you guys, because it's going to be a very long-term project, even though I'll have the first video before the end of the year, is I am getting back into model railroading, finally. I have a long history of model railroading. I honestly cannot remember life without trains in it. A lot of my earliest childhood memories are trains, both real ones and model ones. Somewhere we have old silent home movie video of me operating the train layout when I was like 2-3 years old. And at the time, my dad had an HO layout in what later became the dining room. See some tank cars parked off to the right here. Hopefully the camera's picking them up. Those are Reading and Northern. They usually store tanker cars there. So my dad had an HO layout. It had, apparently before I was born, started out as your typical little loop around the Christmas tree that my mom and dad had. And then it got moved to a ping pong table in the, at the time, vacant dining room, because the house was pretty new. They hadn't furnished it yet. And then the train set, I don't remember if it was because my mom wanted to furnish the dining room or if my dad just wanted a bigger layout. Got moved to the basement and got expanded with some bench work. It was really cool. Literally took up half the basement. It drove my mother nuts, but the rest of us loved it. And then my sister and I each had our own little N-gauge layout. And that's a whole nother subject for another day, but a lot of fond memories there. I mean, we used to literally at the time have to drive to Staten Island to get the trains and the parts for it, because it wasn't, you know, back then HO was in every hobby shop and N was kind of new. I don't know how new, but N-gauge was more of a specialty product back then. Anyway, fast forwarding to adulthood, I had the start of an N-gauge layout a number of years ago. Bad time for a phone call. Hold on, guys. Shoot, that's somebody I really wanted to talk to, but it's not a time that I can talk. I'll have to call him back when I, bummer. Alright, back on track, back to the trains. I had started an N-gauge layout many years ago in my prior home, and I never got very far with it, and I had other things I was doing at the time, and somebody I know, a hobbyist, had just gotten an apartment and, you know, was interested in getting into it, and I ended up selling him my bench work and the tracks that I had put down and the controllers, and I believe all or most of the buildings, which I'm kind of not regretting really any of it other than selling the buildings, because there was some that I had a hard time finding back then. They were kind of rare, and I know I'll never find again. But, you know, I don't know what he ended up doing with it. Hopefully he's, you know, I'm no longer in touch with him. Hopefully he's enjoying it. we're coming down here into town. You can see what I'm hoping to do is catch the 1 o'clock train. Not to ride it, but to film it going through Lehigh Gorge State Park. Get the nice caboose. We got 2531 pulling it. I'm assuming they have another diesel on the other end. They've been making longer trains this year because that also helps with the capacity. They've had to cut the capacity in half. I'm going to turn the camera for a minute here. And you'll see why in a minute. There's something you're going to see up ahead, which I also hope to film. Yeah, and then long story short, I mean, you know, I moved to the house that I'm in now, which is a very small house. However, it does have a basement, it does have a garage. They both need a lot of work if you want to do like habitable, indoor, you know, heated and cooled kind of activities. The basement is half above ground, so it doesn't stay at the constant temperature that basements typically do, because I live on a sloped piece of property, so heating and cooling's an issue, ventilation's an issue. Oh, they got the train station so nicely decorated for the holiday. It looks great. This is what I wanted to show you guys. I'm going to hopefully do a separate video of it. Diesel number 5019. That is Reading and Northern. That is yet another new paint scheme. If you remember, I did a video. I did a video from late summer of 5018 with the new paint job, and I thought they were all going to get that red and white, and this one got something different entirely. So, and I like them both. I don't even know if I could pick a favorite. So, I'm going to hopefully get back into town after I do some filming in the park, and give you guys a better look at that. But anyway, long story short, because I am running out of time here, getting to the park, and I'll tell you why in a second. Well, table that. We'll work through it. I am going to start a new N-gauge layout. I do believe that I still kept all of the cars and engines. I'm 99% sure of that fact, but I haven't come across them in so long that I guess I'm kind of having my doubts, but I have some really cool, you know, N-gauge stuff from the 70s, 80s. I know I have a Pennsylvania Railroad, a little steam engine, smaller than 425 that we've been watching run. But I have a set of passenger cars that, you know, they may even be, I mean, I know they say Pennsylvania Railroad, but they may be the same style Pullman cars that they're using on the Lehigh Gorge Scenic Railway. They're the same dark red color. I know I have a Chesapeake and Ohio diesel engine. I know I have a green and yellow Reading Railroad diesel engine. That one's a little bit newer. Like I said, I'm 99% sure I kept them, but, you know, I considered maybe doing a different gauge, either going to HO or even going smaller with Z. But I know I have some N-gauge stuff, and, you know, why not stick with what I already have? It's also a good gauge, you know, even though I have a basement, when I do get it partially finished for the railroad, the things we do for our trains, you know, that's all the more layout you can fit into the smaller space, and I like the detailing on it. I'm turning into Lehigh Gorge State Park, and I'm going to have to disconnect you, but I'll pick it right back up in a second, and I'll explain why. Okay guys, here we are on the other side. I should have plugged that back in sooner. Quick explanation for that. There's an issue with this drive cam that, you know, every now and then, from what I understand, the nature of, you know, anything you record over and over and over onto these SD cards, eventually you got to reformat the card. And sometimes this camera will prompt me to do that, of course, right in the middle when I'm filming something cool. But I've kind of seen a pattern this year that it usually prompts me to do that when I'm in an area that I lose the GPS signal. And during that little bit of the drive through the park, I'll tell you what, about 2 out of 3 times I lose the signal. Which means I then either need to reformat the card, lose what I've done before, or I've got to pull over and switch cards. and I'm just not in the mood for fussing with it today. So anyway, you missed a little bit of the drive, but as I was driving through, I noticed, because there's a dense tree canopy over it and all the leaves are off, I'm thinking it probably would have been okay today, because it's a lot of times it's when you get in those dense canopies or dense downtowns that you lose the signal. So it probably would have been alright, but whatever. Better safe than sorry. So real quick, because I'm reaching my destination, I'm going to try to, I'll get back to what videos I'm going to film. Let me finish up about the layout. So I bought for myself as a Christmas present. I bought 2 Christmas presents for myself, in fact, which is, I don't usually splurge like that, but I did. It's one of those years, right? You need something. They're both train related. I'm not going to tell you what the second one is. I'll surprise you when I make the video about that. But I did buy a new N-Gauge starter set. It's a little Amtrak train, Genesis engine, double-decker passenger cars. I'll be doing an unboxing video of that soon. It's probably going to be a lot longer until I can actually build a layout. I believe I'm going to have my friend who's a handyman, I'm going to pay him to build some rudimentary bench work that I can put in the basement. Just to run some stuff. Longer term, I want him to actually partially finish my basement. I need to draw up plans. I need to get prices. I need to talk to him about that. That's not going to happen quickly, but just long term, I've lived in that house long enough and not had hobby space. I think it's, even if the world gets back to normal, it's just time to start getting back to my hobbies regardless. So that'll be an ongoing thing. So the layout isn't going to spring up overnight. I kind of just want a start of something that I can just run trains on, just play with, just have some fun with. Because I want to get out my old ones. I want to, I remember a lot of them, but I bet you when I unbox my old trains, it's going to be like, wow, I forgot I had this one. How cool, hopefully. I'm just going slow here, A, because I'm not done yapping, and I'm almost to where I want to park, and B, because, well, you see the conditions. I do have 4-wheel drive. This truck is pretty good in the snow. Alright, so, N-Gauge train's coming. We'll table that for now. What am I doing today? I just want to try to get 2 shots from here. Interestingly, they're going to be identical shots to stuff you've seen recently, but I think it's going to just have a completely different look with the snow in the background. These rocks over to my left, there's a beautiful rock cut where the train passes through. The train passes through just on the other side of these rocks. And it's a very popular spot for filming. I've done, I think, 2 videos there. Now one of the diesel, one of the steam engine. And literally all I have to do is walk through that gate and past a couple of trees and I'll be filming just to the left. But it looks like, I love that location. It has that look of being some faraway, exotic, out there kind of place, even though it's actually very easy to get to. And you can see they don't maintain, that's the D&L trail that I've biked a lot. You can see they don't maintain that for winter weather. So I did wear my hiking boots and long johns today. It's up to 28 now. Like I said, this is warmer than I thought it was going to get, but you don't want to be out too long in weather like this. I don't know if you can see the river off to my left here. I am just going to park. I've got about 25 minutes till the train comes in. I'm not going to talk to you for 25 more minutes. Of course, I say that now, and we'll see what happens. But I'm going to do my first shot of the Lehigh Gorge Scenic Railway being pulled by diesel coming through that rock cut. And then I'm going to go back to the other end of the park and catch the return trip of it going over the bridge. And then, assuming I haven't turned into an ice cube, which I think I'm going to be okay, I'm going to go back into town and film 5019's new paint job for you. So that'll give me 3 videos plus this one. This one I'll probably post Sunday. That'll be 4 videos between now and the end of the year. You'll probably get an unboxing of my Amtrak train set. Probably start the walls on the village. I am going to do a Christmas video, a mail call video of sorts. I've gotten a couple gifts I'd like to thank the senders and share with everybody. I do have my other Christmas gift to myself. I'll do a video of that. Probably not on Christmas Day. Well, I'll probably film it on Christmas Day. We'll see when you guys see it. I am almost through my backlog of videos. You guys have seen me post very, very frequently lately. It was really just trying to clear out the backlog, and it also was a chance that I could kind of put the channel on autopilot while I did all that side work, which I do seem to have a little break in that now because of the holidays, which is good. But I'm actually, believe it or not, I'm almost out of backlog. I know I have two more videos, two more driving videos from early fall. I wouldn't quite call them fall foliage drives, but they were actually from when I took a different way up to Jim Thorpe. One of the days I came up in the fall. Actually, that might not even be fall. That may still have been late summer. Oh well. It's funny, when you film these things and ignore them for a couple months, you surprise yourself watching them. It kind of makes it fun. Two driving videos kind of out, you know, a little bit southeast of here, different direction than we came in today, but very pretty. And I still have two bicycling videos from earlier in the year. One is biking through Lehigh Gap, and one is actually biking from Weisport up to Jim Thorpe. So, effectively, the drive that we did, there's a bike trail down by the river, between the river and canal. It would have been off, I mean, you can't see it from the camera, but it would have been to my right as we drove across the river, hence why you can't see it. Those were each about 5-mile rides. I filmed those with the GoPro. I've been a little slow sharing those. I can't really share them the same way I share the driving videos because it's just kind of slow and plodding and, you know, probably boring. But what I'm going to do for each one is really just put together a highlight reel, so you're just seeing little clips of what I consider the most scenic parts. And I do get off the bike a lot to take pictures, take videos, so I'll try to make it more of a highlight reel of the area. And I think that's all I've got for the backlog. So going into 2021, it's mostly going to be new content. Like I said, with it being it's winter. Hey, it's technically not even winter yet. It's December 19th. I think winter starts Monday, the 21st. It's going to be a long winter. Like I said, going to do some indoor stuff. Probably do some more drives. And, you know, who knows what else. I'm pretty resourceful. I always seem to find something. So, keep you guys entertained. Thank you for coming along for the ride. As ever, I've gotten long-winded. I am going to sit in here and keep warm for a little bit, and when it's time to get out, probably around 1:10, 1:15, I'm going to go out and I'm going to catch a train. So, thanks for riding along, and, you know, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year to everybody. I'll catch you soon. Bye.